year ago. And we actually just met a few days ago, well, like in person. I actually had an opportunity to connect with Angelina. She's a designer from Michigan, and she saw one of my wife's paintings online and said she was drawn to it. There was something in the painting that brought peace to her. So we began a dialogue through buying prints and art that then led to some really great discussions on what I saw as God really adoring her in His presence. And I could tell you so many details about that story, but we don't have enough time. But there was one conversation that prompted her being here, and I'll let Angelina tell that particular story of what we talked about that is why she's here today.
It's pretty unusual, and I have to kind of start in the middle, because as Bruce said, the story's, it's a short amount of time, but the story's long, and he called it all little tiny constellations, and not to talk about each one of them. So what I'm going to say is, while we were conducting business, and I felt a certain comfort level, the Lord was calling. I didn't know that, but when I sort of realized it, I came. And I had asked Bruce about baptism. The funny thing is, I was not an avid follower. I mean, I've always known about Jesus through my father, but I saw a thing on TV with dog and water. That was an odd message. And water kept coming. And I said, am I turning crazy? It's like someone's calling me to be baptized. So in one of our business conversations, I said, Bruce, I have to ask you something. What is baptism? And he told me.
And she shared with me that she felt that there was this call for her to be cleansed, that she knew in her heart and her mind that Jesus was someone she wanted to follow, but she felt that baptism was going to symbolize the cleansing she needed and wanted, and that this is what brought us to Stuart, actually, shortly after that conversation, saying, oh, we're going to have baptism. And I thought, immediately in my head, it said, you should invite Angelina. Well, I mean, she's in Michigan, we're here, but I had our community group pray about that, about offering for her to come. And through some really miraculous events, she actually decided to come. And so I'm really excited that this is not us, this is God just afforded us this wonderful opportunity to see Angelina and her story with God come to fruition. But Angelina, as we're all here getting ready to be baptized, what does Jesus mean to you?
Now, and I'm a newbie, okay, so I'm still taking it all in and trying to feel it. What he means to me is eternal life, which is something I've never explored, something I've never known about, something I still don't really know about and understand. The people that I've met, who I know here are Christians. I mean, I got on a plane. I didn't get on a plane, I was put on a plane. And I was driven through the air and landed here. And the people that I've experienced, what I really see is Christ in them, okay? Because I just decided to check out because I didn't know if I was going to be too scared or freak out or something. I said, I can't believe I'm doing this. And the people that have come forward, if this is what Christ does, I want it.
And so why are you choosing to be baptized today?
I know, it's like I like doing good. I want to be baptized because I want to feel a new beginning. You know, I know the person that I was and that I'm transitioning from, and I want that washed away. This is symbolic for me. And it's also, I want to do it for Jesus. It's, for me, a really unusual thing to do, but I know that I need to do it. And the real reason I want to do it is because I'm here to bear witness that I'm a child of God, that I am here and I will follow. I will follow when he leads. I will obey when he directs. And I'm here to have my sins forgiven, be washed and bathed in his blood, and be a child of God.
Amen.
talked about it all.
So interesting segue. London, why don't you come up? So I had just had this conversation where I asked if she would come to be baptized, and so she said she was going to be coming. And so I shared that with London in the car. So remember that designer that we talked about, how she saw Mom's painting, and there's just been a relationship building, and I told him the story, and he said, Dad, wow, that's really cool. And then like 2 seconds paused, and he said, well, I want to be baptized. And you have to understand, London, ever since I got baptized maybe 5, 6 years ago. I had a baptism when I was 6 years old and kind of remembered it, didn't really know what it symbolized. And so I was being really protective of him. I didn't want him to, because he's been asking since I got baptized to be baptized. Because as long as I've known London, he has always loved Jesus. There was never I'm going to pray and ask Jesus in my heart. London has always had Jesus in his heart and always wanted to follow him. Has had a wait for others who don't know Jesus. He's had dreams, he's had visions, he's had this. My son is really special to us in that way that's my story. I don't remember not knowing Jesus. So for him to now want to follow in obedience and baptism, the moment he said that, I felt like God said, don't grieve his spirit. Like, this is the appointed time. So we talked about it in the car a little bit more. And so today, London, I want to ask you, what does Jesus mean to you?
It means that he died on the cross for our sin.
And why do you want to be baptized today?
Because I want to be new and be clean.
So I am thankful that I get to do this today. It's a blessing to be a part of Angelina's story and also to see my son be baptized, and thank you for you all being here too.